The hammer rang out, the wood split clean. A crooked frame for a soul unseen. Splinters in my hands, blood on the floor. Build my shame, lock the door. One nail left, rusted and cold. Held more truth than I'd been told.
One nail left, drove it through my doubt. Pinned my path, turned it inside out. Grace don't come easy, but it's enough.
One nail left, and I build back love. The sawdust flew, the years fell down, buried deep in a forgotten town. Walls caved in, the roof gave way. I learned to pray where the shadows lay. One nail left, kept it in my hand. A quiet truth I could understand.
One nail left, drove it through my doubt. Pinned my past, turned it inside out. Grace don't come easy, but it's enough.
One nail left, and I built love.
One nail left, drove it through my doubt. Pinned my past, turned it inside out. Grace don't come easy, but it's enough.
One nail left, and I built back love. There's dust on the cross, it leans to the west. Buried in sagebrush, it's seen its last test. The wood is splintered, nails rusted through. Once it stood tall, now it bows like me too. Oh, dust on the cross, like dust on my soul. I've wandered too far, and I've lost my control. Wind whisper mercy, but mercy feels lost. Out here with the tumbleweeds and dust on the cross, I drop to my knees. The ground burned my skin. The son's an old preacher confessing my sins. I remembered my name, though it tasted like sand. Once I was someone, now I'm just a man. Each grain of dust, it tells a tale of things I broke and ways I failed. Oh, dust on the cross, dust on my soul. I've wandered wandered too far, and I've lost my control. The wind whispered mercy, but mercy feels lost out here with the tumbleweeds and dust on the cross. The shadows stretch long like regrets in my mind. The past is a canyon too deep to rewind. But maybe this cross, though it's battered and torn, holds a hope I've forgotten since the day I was born.
The wheel hums low, the road rolls long, dust in my throat, but I hum your song. Each mile a whisper, each town a ghost. I carry your prayers, though I'm chasing most. Letters from the road, ink stained and torn, folded with the weight of a heart well worn. I can't come back, but I can't let go. Your love's the only light this traveler knows. Your words still linger, soft as rain, through motel walls and diesel stains. I hear your voice in the wind's low sigh, calling me home, though I never reply. Forgiveness, it's heavy, it bends and it breaks, but distance carves truths that the heart never fades. Letters from the road, ink stained and torn, folded with the weight of a heart well worn. I can't come back, but I can't let go. Your love's the only light this traveler knows. A diner at midnight, a matchbox of dreams, coffee so bitter it splits at the seams. I write you in shadows, my pen running dry, wondering if angels forgive those who lie. Letters down the road, ink stained and torn, folded with the weight of a heart well worn. I can't come back, but I can't let go. Your Love's the only light this traveler knows. Dust on the leather, scuffs on the toe, a ritual of polish, a quiet glow. Each stroke whispers the past I know. Sunday shoes, they're worn but true. Step by step, I'm walking through. Face a path I can't refuse. It starts again in Sunday shoes. The laces frayed, but they still hold tight. A crease like a map, tracing wrong from right. Each thread a story, each stain the fight. Every week the same old tune, every shine a new commune. Sunday shoes, they're worn but true. Step by step, I'm walking through. Face a path I can't refuse. It starts again in Sunday shoes. They've seen the rain, they've kissed the ground, they've led me lost and turned me around. A pair of shoes, but they're much more. A quiet knock on heaven's door. Sunday shoes, they're worn but true. Step by step, I'm walking through. Faith's a path I can't refuse. It starts again in Sunday shoes. I left my shadow in a rearview dream. The road stretched long like a crooked seam. Dust in my lungs, grit in my teeth. Freedom whispered low beneath my feet. Every mile stole my name, every turn lit up my shame. Gravel and grace, they're all I've got. A pickup full of prayers
they just hang and glow. The moon's a quiet friend in this endless show. The radio static hums a holy tune. The highway's choir sings beneath the moon. Gravel and grace, they're all I've got. A pickup full of prayers, a heart that falls. Every crack in the road, a line on my face. I'm just chasing mercy. They're all I've got. A pickup full of prayers, a heart that falls. Every crack in the road, line on my face. I'm just chasing mercy through gravel and grace. The bottle sat heavy like a stone in my hand. His amber glow, a curse I could barely stand. The river whispered soft through the trees, a voice in the dark calling to me. Whiskey or water, which way do I go? One burns like fire, one runs so cold. I can't walk this line, no more in between. Whiskey or water, it's time to come clean. I knelt by the bank where the cattails grow, the mud on my knees, the moon hanging low. I poured out the bottle, watched it swirl away. The river took it, and the night turned gray. I saw my reflection, tired and warm, a man at the edge, tattered and torn. Whiskey or water, which way do I go? One burns like fire, one runs so cold. I can't walk this line, no more in between. Whiskey or water, it's time to come clean. I dipped my hands where the water ran pure, washed off the years, the pain I endured. The bottle is gone, the choice made clear, the river's song is all I hear.
The roads are ribbon, torn and frayed, dusty miles where dreams have strayed. A burlap sack's my pillow tonight. Under stars, no roof inside. Barefoot in Bethlehem, I found my way. No silver to spend, no debts to pay. The night sings soft, the earth feels kind. Peace in poverty, no chains to bind. The wind hums hymns through cedar trees, whispers secrets on the breeze. A shepherd's crook borrows flame. I've got no riches, but I've no shame. The world turns slow, the sky bends low. I've got all I need just to let it go. Barefoot in Bethlehem, I found my way. No silver to spend, no debts to pay. The night sings soft, the earth feels kind. Peace in poverty, no chains to bind. Sparrows dance, they don't ask why. Fields of grain, they never cry. The moon's a lantern, the dirt's my floor. Who could ask for anything more? Barefoot in Bethlehem, I found my way. No silver to spend, no debts to pay. The night sings soft, the earth feels kind. Peace in poverty, no chains to bind. I was born with a smirk and a chip on my shoulder. Dad was a preacher, fire and brimstone holder. I sit in the back, scribbling jokes on the hymnals. His sermons were long, my patience were minimal. Oh, the preacher's son, the preacher's son, mocking the words while the world spun. Thought I knew it all, but I just begun. Life's a tough teacher for the preacher's son. At 15, I was louder than the choir's best shout, whispering punchlines when the spirit poured out. I'd mimic his voice, all gravel and grit. The congregation laughed, but Dad didn't find it legit. He'd say, boy,
Pride's a sin that'll bite you fast. I'd roll my eyes thinking I'd outgrow my past. Oh, the preacher's son, the preacher's son, mocking the words while the world spun. Thought I knew it all, but I just begun. Life's a tough teacher for the preacher's son. Years rolled by, I stumbled, I fell, lost my way, found my own kind of hell. One Sunday morning, I walked through that door. Dad's voice still boomed, but it shook me more. The preacher's son, the preacher's son, mocking the words while the world spun. Thought I knew it all, but I just begun. Life's a tough teacher for the preacher's son. Life's a tough teacher for the preacher's son.
I spoke slow in riddles deep. I traded dreams for hours I couldn't keep. The clock just sighed its endless song, each tick a sermon on what's gone wrong. And there's a weight I can't outrun, but the stars, they blink like they've already won. Cold coffee songs in my shaking hand. Faith tastes bitter, but I understand. It's not the sweetness, it's the burn that stays. And somehow it warms me anyway. Shadows stretched like they own the floor. The door stayed closed but begged for more. My prayers wore holes in the silence wide. I swore I'd find the light but never tried. And the echoes laughed, a mocking choir, but the embers hung like a quiet fire. Cold coffee songs in my shaking hand. Faith tastes bitter, but I'd understand. It's not the sweetness, it's the burn that stays. And somehow it warms me anyway.
the belly where the sunlight dies. We trade our days for the blackened sky, and pickaxe prayers in the dust and din. Lord, forgive the weight of our sin. Under the mountain, we're scraping weed by. Heaven feels far, but we make it somehow. The echoes rise, a hymn to the end. Cold town voices, sinners turn to friends. A canary sings and the silence falls. We dig our graves in these endless halls. Brothers' hands steady, lantern dim. Faith is the spark that keeps us within. The rocks don't listen, but we still cry. One day we'll leave, one day we'll fly. Under the mountain, we scrape and we bow. Heaven feels far, but we make it somehow. The echoes rise, a hymn to the end. Cold town voices, sinners turn to friends. Said the Lord don't mind, but he knows the weight of the soot and grime. Every strike of steel, every shovel full, our hearts burn bright. Though the world is dull, barn leans heavy, the roof's caved in. A tractor sits where the weeds begin. Rust on the plow, rust on the chain. Everything I touch turns to rust and rain. Rust and rain, rust and rain. Took my crop, left my pain, but the sky still sings, it don't complain. Hope grows quiet in rust and rain. Fields lie fallow, cracked and dry. Scarecrow stands with an empty sky. Crows pick through what the locusts spared. I hum a tune, though the world don't care. And I ask the clouds, do they feel the strain? Or do they just carry this rust and rain? Rust and rain, rust and rain. Took my crop, left my pain, but the sky still sings, it don't complain. Hope grows quiet in rust and rain.
There's a seed in the mud, it don't know fear. It fights through the flood and the frost, the year. If it can rise, then so can I, even under a broken sky.
I told the river about my sins, each drop a secret where guilt begins. It held my shame but didn't bend. The reeds don't whisper, the stones don't cry, the river don't lie. It don't take sides, it just flows. It just knows the river don't lie. I threw my pride into the stream, watched it sink like a broken dream. The current laughed, but it stayed serene. The moon don't judge, the tide don't pry. Don't take sides, it just flows. It just knows the river don't lie.
Floorboards creak beneath my knees. A hymn escapes on broken pleas. The light spills through the cracked old pane. Dust and hope dance in its flame. Oh, grace, grace in G minor, a melody that lifts me higher through the ache, through the fight. You are the morning in my night. Shadows crawl like old regrets. The air is thick with what I've kept, but the silence hums a quiet sky. Oh, grace, grace in G minor, a melody that lifts me higher through the ache, through the fight. You are the morning in my night.
Scraps torn from grocery bags, ink smudged and worn, words like feathers scattered and forlorn, folded wings of hope, crumpled but they soar. Paper angel carried by the wind, lines to hold you, keep you whole within. Every letter a prayer to begin. Shadows on a cell wall, ticking clocks groan. She writes salvation in a mother's tone. Each phrase a key, carving paths unknown. Every tear a stanza, every sigh a rhyme, binding wounds with verses, stitching through time. Paper angel carried by the wind, lines to hold you, keep you whole within. Every letter a prayer to begin. Barbed wire moons, they can't cage the night. Her whispers climb mountains, bringing you light. Hope's fragile armor wrapped in paper tie.
The road hums low like a sorrow tune. Dust on my boots, hands empty at noon. A wallet in the ditch, I left it behind. 10 miles to mercy, no peace in my mind. 10 miles to mercy, 10 miles to go. The sky hangs heavy, the wind starts to blow. 10 miles to mercy with the truth in my hand. I'm walking through this broken land. I stole from a man who had nothing to lose. His coat was patched, his soles wore through. A face in the shadows, he caught my eye. I dropped the weight, but I can't say why. The gravel bites, the train calls out. Every step whispers what I'm about. 10 miles to mercy, 10 miles to go. The sky hangs heavy, the wind starts to blow. 10 miles of mercy with the truth in my hand. I'm walking through this broken land. Crows laugh loud on the telephone wire. Each mile burns hotter, a self-made fire. A creek runs dry where the willows lean. This world's unkind, but it's still serene. The stained glass hums in colors faint, whispered hymns through time and pain. Dust settles soft where the faithful once grew, but no one stares on this plain wooden pew. Plain wooden pew, no eyes to see. You don't ask what's wrong with me. No whispered words, no judging glance, just quiet here where I take my chances. Knots in the grain, like stories untold. Each scar a secret, each groove a soul. The air holds a weight, but not from you. Just steady silence from this plain wooden pew. They say the church is made of stone, but this old bench feels more like home. No preacher's voice, no sermon's flame, just me and my thoughts, no guilt, no shame. Plain wooden pew, no eyes to see. You don't ask what's wrong with me. Plain wooden pew, no eyes to see. You don't ask what's wrong with me. No whispered words, no judging glance, just quiet here where I take my chance. The world outside can twist and frown, but here I sit where I lay it down. No hallelujahs, no grand debut, just peace I find on this plain wooden pew.
tongue dust choke my veins, 1,000 miles of forgotten names. Boot heels worn, a soul, a threadbare game. Ashes on the porch, but the wind don't care. Someone swept it clean like it'd still be there. Ashes on the porch, old lingers in the air. Whiskey nights and a gun in my hand, dreams shot down like a one-man band. But that porch it stood, it didn't understand. I thought I'd burn it all to the ground, but someone stayed and held their ground. Ashes on the porch, but the wind don't care. Someone swept it clean like I'll still be there. Ashes on the porch, old lingers in the air. Who believes in ghosts of a man who's gone? When the fire dies, who keeps the dawn? A broom in hand, a heart so strong. Your hand shook as you reached for mine. Time had carved its crooked line.
The words we left unsaid that night, they linger still in shadowed light.
But silence spoke what hearts once knew, a quiet bridge between me and you. Oh, sweet forgiveness, soft as rain, it heals the cracks, it soothes the pain. No need for words, no need to say. The silence sings what hearts convey.
The years were long, the roads are rough, life's brittle edges, sharp and tough.
But your eyes held the same old glow, like embers warm beneath the snow. We swayed in time, no need to speak. The waltz restored what time made weak. Oh, sweet forgiveness, soft as rain, it heals the cracks, it soothes the pain. No need for words, no need to say. The silence sings what hearts convey. The clock hand stopped,
The past stood still
two souls entwined.
against their will,
The years may take
but they can't erase
the silent song of love's embrace. So sweet forgiveness, soft as rain, it heals the cracks, it soothes the pain. No need for words, no need to say. The silence sings what hearts convey.
shadow, my boots wore thin, each step a memory of where I've been. I left your laughter somewhere behind, but the lantern still burns in the window at night. Small golden flame holding on to the fire. Through the storm and the sorrow, it's always inside. The lantern still burns, the lantern still burns. The rain came down like a cold, cruel hymn, whispering doubts where hope had been. But I heard your voice in the howl of the wind. It said, come back, before you're too far gone. And the lantern still burns in the window at night, a beacon of love in the soft amber light. Through the ache and the silence, it's steady, it's bright. The lantern still burns, the lantern still burns. Time can be ruthless, it steals and it stings, but it can't snuff the fire that your memory brings. Even when lost, I was never alone. That light in the window, it's always been home.
Ran like a river, wide and mean, chasing stars I'd never seen. Through the dust, through the mire, burned my soul on a fool's fire. The sky was silent, the night's too long, and I wonder where I'd gone. Heaven don't hurry, it moves like stone, carving slow paths where seeds are sown. You can beg, you can fight, but it'll come in its time. Heaven don't hurry, neither should I. I heard the wind whisper through the pines. Patience, boy, the world takes time. But my heart, it raced, it kicked, it clawed for promises made by a voice so raw. Years went by, my hair turned gray, still I waited for a brighter day. Oh, the rain falls when it's ready, not when we demand. Heaven don't hurry, it moves like stone, carving slow paths where seeds are sown. You can beg, you can fight, but it'll come in its time. Heaven don't hurry, and neither should I. A sparrow lands on a rusted gate, doesn't ask for more, doesn't question fate. It takes the crumbs, it takes the sky. Trust the sun will rise by and by. Heaven don't hurry, heaven don't hurry, heaven don't hurry. I got nails in my pocket, rusted and bent, each one a story, each one a regret. I carry them close like they're part of my skin. They jingle like chains, they dig deep within. Nails in my pocket, heavy as stone. Built a house of mistakes, now I live here alone. Could've hammered it right, could've made it all true, but these nails in my pocket are the things I can't undo. There's a crooked nail, reminds me of her, a twist in the wood, a love that won't stir. Another one sharp, it still cuts like the day when I held my own hammer and drove her away. Splinters in my fingers, dust on my soul. The blueprint was broken and I lost control. Oh, nails in my pocket, heavy as stone. Built a house of mistakes, now I live here alone. Could've hammered it right, could've made it all true, but these nails in my pocket are the things I can't undo. Built a house of mistakes, now I live here alone. Could've hammered it right, could've made it all true, but these nails in my pocket are the things I can't undo. I saw a shadow cross the dust, long and lean, it turned to rust. The road ain't straight, it weaves and winds, but grace, it lingers in the pines. I walked alone, but not unseen, through the valley, deep and green. God walked the line again, through the crooked, through the plain. Not a fence to keep me pinned, but a path to that bends back home again. A stone, a thorn, a broken shoe, I faltered where the cedars grew. The sun sank low, the sky went red. I heard his voice where silence bled. Not a map, not a sign, just the whisper of the line. It ain't the straight that saves the soul, it's the curve that makes us whole. God walked the line again, through the crooked, through the plain. Not a fence to keep me pinned, but a path that bends back home again. The river laughed, the river cried, it carved the hills, it kissed the tide. A winding hymn, a call, a plea, it led me down to set me free. Halfway to heaven, halfway to hell. My feet on the gravel, my hands on the rail. The church bell rings, but the whiskey pours. I walk a tightrope between two doors. Between the church and the bar I stand. One holds my soul, the other my hand. Salvation's a hymn, temptation's a scar. I'm living my life between the church and the bar. Stained glass whisper, the neon screams. One lights my sins, the other my dreams. I kneel in the pew, I lean on the stool, breaking my own rules like a stubborn fool. And every step feels like a test. Which side of me will win the race? Between the church and the bar I stand. One holds my soul, the other my hand. Salvation's a hymn, temptation's a scar. I'm living my life between the church and the bar. Caught in the pull between church and the bar. whisper low beneath my boots, a steady drone. The sun leaned heavy, shadows long, a crooked trail, a wayward song. I thought the line was hard and true, but it swayed like wheat beneath the blue. God walked the line again. Not a fence, not a wall, but a bend through the fields and the wind to where the lost begin. God walked the line again. The river spoke in tongues of stone, its voice like thunder, soft as bone. The trees bowed low, the earth stood still. Faith ain't a rule, it's a rolling hill. I thought I'd find him in the straight, but he was dancing at the gate. God walked the line again. Not a fence, not a wall, but a bend through the fields and the wind to where the lost begin. God walked the line again. A path that twists, a path that turns. The fire dies, the ember burns. The stars don't shine in perfect rows, but they light the way it goes. God walked the line again. Not a fence, not a wall, but a bend through the fields and the wind to where the lost begin. God walked the line.